Winning the Champions League, a huge dream for endless amounts of players around the world. Many greats have lifted the trophy, many greats have not been so fortunate, and today we're gonna list the 10 greatest players, in no particular order, who never won the Champions League. Now, does this make them any less better players? Not necessarily, as I wouldn't say the likes of David Silva, Rivaldo or Eric Cantona are bad players just because they didn't lift the famous trophy. But anyways, here are 10 other greats who missed out in the Champions League glory, and you might be surprised by a few of them. Number 1. Ronaldo. And yes, we're talking about the Brazilian one. This is the two-time World Cup winner, best player in the world multiple times, and the player many consider as the greatest striker of all time. But no matter what, Ronaldo never got to win the Champions League. He did reach the semi-finals in season 2002 and 3 with Real Madrid, but lost to Juventus, and Ronaldo never appeared in the Champions League final, let alone lift the trophy. Number 2. Gianluigi Buffon. This is the one player you might have known already. Unfortunately, Buffon has played and lost a total of 3 Champions League finals in the Juventus shirt. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't think of any other players in the history of the game who's played in 3 Champions League finals without winning a single one of them. Luckily for him, Buffon is a World Cup winner and won a whole lot of other trophies throughout the years. But I'm sure he'd love to add that one missing piece in his collection. Number 3. Pavel Nedved. Now, the younger viewers might ask, Pavel who? Well, he's none other than the 2003 Ballon d'Or winner and actually one of my childhood favorite players. An absolute beast of a midfielder with stamina, power and skill. Nedved never became a Champions League winner and he's now in some kind of a role in the board of directors at Juventus. Number 4. Patrick Vieira. During his time, Vieira was one of the greatest players in the Premier League, leading the Gunners to, for example, 3 league titles, including the Invincible season. He was the heart and soul of Arsenal, one of the Premier League greats, and most of us will always remember the fierce battles between him and United's Roy Keane. Well, unlike Patrick Vieira, Keane actually managed to win the Champions League, so at least in that category, he got the upper hand over his arch-rival. Number 5. Sergio Aguero. Aguero is the highest scoring non-English player ever to step foot in the Premier League grass, but he's never lifted the Champions League trophy. He did face Real Madrid in the 2015-16 semi-finals, but Aguero's Manchester City were unfortunately knocked out, and only time will tell if he'll ever get to win the precious tournament. Number 6. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Yep, you knew this one already. Zlatan is a serial winner who scored tons of iconic goals. And despite playing in the semi-finals with Barcelona in the 2009 and 10 season, he's also one of those great players in modern history who's never appeared in a Champions League final. Would he like to add the trophy in his cabinet? I'm sure he would. But as Zlatan has stated,
if I win it or not will not change me as the player I am.
Yep, you heard the man. Number 7. Fabio Cannavaro. Cannavaro was a central figure in Italy's 2006 World Cup campaign, where the Italians ended up winning the whole thing. The fierce central defender also picked up the Ballon d'Or in 2006 and was arguably the best central defender in the world at the time. He played for huge clubs like Real Madrid, Juventus and Inter Milan, but despite tons of glory and awards, he also never lifted the Champions League trophy. Number 8. Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski played and lost the 2012-13 final against Bayern Munich while playing for Borussia Dortmund. Everyone knows his ability to score goals. Lewandowski is one of those strikers who you can count on to back 30+ goals a season, but unfortunately, the Champions League trophy is still missing from his cabinet. He's still got time in his hands, so let's see if he gets removed from this list in the years to come. Number 9. Dennis Bergkamp. When we talk about Premier League greats, many people will have Bergkamp high on that list. Unfortunately, he's also featured in this one, as the 3-time Premier League winner never enjoyed success in the Champions League. He sat on the bench against Barcelona in the 2015-16 final, which Arsenal ended up losing. And it was also the last game with Bergkamp in the Arsenal shirt. Number 10. Francesco Totti. Now, for the last player on the list, we could have chosen a bunch of players, but ended up going with the Emperor of Rome, Francesco Totti. He won the 2006 World Cup with Italy, playing 61 minutes in the final, and is one of the most legendary one-club players of all time. A true icon. But unfortunately for him, Totti is also one of the greats to never win the Champions League. And that concludes today's list. Smash the like button if you had a good time, and subscribe to our channel for more videos about the best skill tutorials and most amazing football content on YouTube. And with those words, I'm out.